Hey, Deanna here. Today I'm getting things ready for my horses to go in at some point. We're supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of rain this weekend, so I think during the heaviest part of that I'm going to put them in for a while, probably overnight. But it really got me thinking about how much I have my horses out, and I see a lot of horses that don't get to go out. And I want to talk about that a little bit. A lot of the vices that we see with horses, the cribbing, the pawing, the teeth grinding, a lot of those things stem from the horses just being unhappy. They're not getting enough turnout time. They're not getting that social interaction with other horses. They're not getting to release extra energy that they have. And that just makes them less happy and honestly just not that much fun to work with. If they're unhappy when you're riding them, if they're cranky or they're explosive, those are things that can be minimized with turnout, among other things. We have to address horses' primary needs, and that would be water, oxygen, food, but also that they feel safe and secure. And if they are confined as a prey animal, that their primary mechanism of self-defense is to flee, and we have them confined for 23 hours a day, sometimes 24 hours a day, that can really lead to stress in their bodies and their minds. And it's just not fair to them. It'd be like if you didn't want someone that you love to go out into the world because they could get hurt. They can get a car accident, all sorts of horrible things could happen, but they're not going to be a very fun person to be around. They're not going to be a very happy person if you leave them locked in a closet for their own safety. I know that we want to protect our horses because we love them, we really do, but keeping them in a stall is not the best option. I have seen a lot of horses get hurt in stalls actually more frequently than by being turned out. And some horses, I know when you turn them out, they get very explosive and they get very excited and they're running around and you're afraid they're going to slip or hurt themselves. And you have to acclimate those horses. If they're not used to being turned out, they're not going to rate themselves. But if they go out all the time, it's not going to be such a treat or a novelty to go out, and they're not going to be so explosive. Sometimes we want to protect them from things like thrush. I mean, this time of year it's wet and it's muddy, and I'm going to tell you this, I'm not a vet, this is just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. Thrush is not a mud problem. Thrush is an unhealthy hoof problem, a hoof that is not functioning the way it should. So whether that's because of conformation or poor shoeing or lack of movement is a big thing. When that hoof can't function the way it should because it's not expanding and contracting with every footfall, those kind of things can lead to thrush too. So I just wanted to share with you what I do with my horses. You can see they're out right now. He's just chilling over there. He's really old, that's why he has a blanket on. And then I got little chunky girl over here. Some options if you can't get your horses out, because sometimes that is the case if it's icy or muddy or whatever, spending more time with them. So if you have the luxury of an indoor, you can turn them out in there, which is not as good as social turnout with a herd of horses where they can meander around for the day and just be horses, but at least they're getting to move. We have spells here sometimes where it rains and it rains and it rains and I don't have an indoor, and it can get so muddy and gross, but we can always walk down the driveway. We can just take the horses for a walk. It's a nice long driveway, it's a gravel driveway, and we'll go for walks in the rain. And if you do that frequently, like if you have a horse that's not been out in a week, then maybe they're not going to hand walk quietly. But if you do that twice a day, I mean, a lot of times that's what I do when it's terrible weather. I at least get them out twice a day and go for a walk. It's going to go a long way to having a happier, healthier horse. So I just thought I would share that with you. I'd love to know how you have your horses turned out. I would love to hear from people that use the track system. I don't have that kind of setup, but I think it would be great in some ways and maybe limiting in other ways. But let me know how you have your horses arranged. Are they in stalls part of the day, all day? Are they out 24 hours a day? I'd love to hear from you, and I want to thank you for watching.